Hey everybody, welcome to Saturday night at Raincross Farms Makery. We are glad you're here. My name's Robin. Behind the computer, behind the camera is Bill, and we are coming to you just outside of Lewiston, Idaho. We like to craft and we like to share our crafts with you and give you ideas and inspiration so that you can be creative also. So if you are popping on and there's a red box up here that says live, you'll know you are watching our program, our Facebook Live while we're live. If that box is not there, you're watching the replay. If you are watching replay, feel free to comment along, ask questions. We'll monitor the comments later, and just type in hashtag replay so we know when you're watching. Hey Patty, welcome. Welcome. So, when you are here, hop on, say hello, let us know you're watching. And I'm going to bring up the live on my phone so I can see it a little closer. Hopefully the volume is good tonight. I see the little thing going across the screen. Okay, I'm having a hot flash. Not a real hot flash, I just came from upstairs. I'm just a little overexertion because there's like 20 steps down to the basement. Wore me out. Okay, so again, I am not crying, I'm not sad, I have allergies and it's making my eyes miserable, so they're red and they're watery, and that's what's going on with me. So if you are watching live, we would love it if you would love our page, love our video, follow our page, share it out to your friends, to your page, to any craft groups you belong to. We certainly appreciate that. That lets Facebook know that maybe we have something worth sharing, and they might just share it out to their friends. Anyway, we also have stars activated, so thank you so much. And how about we get started? Hey, Sherry, welcome. J.I. Hi? Is that?
Wrong finger.
Or maybe it's not English. Well, Jai to you too, Sherry. Welcome. The project tonight, we are going to do a book stack. I've done fake books. Did you know what a book stack is? It's a stack of books, and it's meant to look decorative. Now, I have stacks of books everywhere that are not decorative, so we're going to make this look like it belongs there. So we are going to use, I went and got some books from the Dollar Tree. You could also get some books at a thrift store. You can pull them off your shelf. They'll still be readable afterwards, but they'll kind of be wrapped up, so make sure it's not a book you really want to have handy. Anyway, I got some that have pretty thick spines, because what we're going to do is on the spines we are going to chalk some words. And the words that we're going to use, they come from our newest Creative Kickstart set of transfers that just came out the beginning of June. They're only available while they last. So here's the first one. This is called Explore, Dream, Discover. I wonder why. Explore, Dream, Discover. So this is the first part of the set. So it has these words. These are what we're going to chalk on the spines. That's why I needed some books that had pretty thick spines. Dang, autocorrect. Well, maybe it's special Facebook language. Jai. I'm seeing that it was autocorrect. Auto-incorrect. That's true.
That's a better name.
Every once in a while it is beneficial, but more often than not it's frustrating or hilarious.
At least it makes us laugh a lot.
Sometimes it's just hilarious. Sometimes it's embarrassing. Okay. Then the bottom half of this, before I actually got it in my hot little hands, I didn't know what, I knew it was words. Somebody had said, yeah, you can't read, I don't know what it is. It's just scribbles. It's not. Now that I can see it, it's a dictionary page, and it's in the S's, and the first word is sea urchin and the last word is security. So it's just a cute little background that you could use in the background of an art piece. So this is the first transfer. The second transfer is pretty cute. Don't get freaked out though. These are called etched bugs. So we have a butterfly. I don't know, is that a monarch butterfly? I don't know what kind of butterfly it is. We've got a butterfly, we've got a bumblebee, we've got a dragonfly, and we have some sort of beetle. Some people say, oh, that's a cockroach. I prefer to think of this as just a beetle. This is probably not my favorite little insect, but anyway, it's a cute little set. We're not going to use this one tonight, but these are the 2 transfers in the Creative Kickstart set. So we're going to use one of them, and then another night, I'm waiting for a supply to come in the mail. We're going to do a little project with these, and so I'm just showing you how you can use them. Now these are our B-size transfers. They're for sale for $14.99 in my chalk shop. However, there's a way you can get both of them for free, and it's a free with purchase. So if you purchase $65 worth of merchandise, you get this one free. If you purchase $80 worth, you get both of them free. So if you're going to be spending some money anyway, go get your freebies. Anyway, let's get started on this. Enough talk. Yes, it's got a cute little butterfly. And Patty, do you have our other transfer with just butterflies? It's very pretty too. It's in that etched line. Okay, so what I did is I got 3 books. And Bill has been giving me, oops, the hardest time. I dropped a book. Can you hand that to me?
What was that?
Yep. Is it camouflage? Okay, so Bill has been giving me the hardest time about my crafts, and you're watching paint dry. So I pre-painted 2 of these, so you only have to watch me paint 1. So I got 3 books from the Dollar Tree, and I painted 2 of them up. 2 of them are the same book. It's called Mage like Rage, Mage Against the Machine. I'm sure it makes sense if you read the book by Sean Barger. Sorry, Sean, I did not read your book, but I purchased it, so you should get credit. And we're going to make a lovely craft of it. Wouldn't you like to know, Mr. Barger, that your book is on my coffee table? Unread, but anyway, so I painted 2 of them. I'm going to use these 3 colors. I'm going to use plaster. I'm going to use celery, which is a light green, and then a little bit darker green. This is moss, and these are just chalk paints. Okay. So I already painted the plaster, which is this one, and the moss. I did the lightest and the darkest. And then what I did, and I'm going to show you, I went over it with my dark wax because I didn't want it to look all freshly painted. I wanted it to look aged. So I went over it with that dark wax, so that kind of makes it look antiqued. So these are mostly done with painting. And then I only got 2 of those books, so I got a 3rd one. So give a shout out to Amber Smith's book, Something Like Gravity. Again, I have not read it, but I did purchase it, so you get credit for it. So I take off the little covers. Hey, Alana, welcome. I am glad you're feeling well, and I'm glad you're here to join us. And I'm glad you're blonde because you gave us a laugh today. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to paint it with my Waverly chalk paint. Not my, well, it's mine because I bought it. I don't sell this though. This I got from Walmart, the Waverly brand. You can use any brand of chalk paint, but this is celery. So let me get myself a brush. And actually, I'm also going to need a little brush too. Okay. And we're going to paint this up. So let me show you how I did it. I start with, because I don't want, especially this is blue. These were black covers. And this one is a bright blue, which is very pretty, but won't go with what we're doing. So I don't want this to show. and I don't want the front and back to show. So I'm going to start by painting just this little inside. And this doesn't have to look super neat because it's not going to be visible.
Okay, I got a question on
Yes.
that. If it's not going to show, why are you painting that?
Well, because part of it will show, but the part that's sloppy, you won't see that it's sloppy. And
I'm going to trust you on that.
you can trust me. Good. It's about time. Okay, this needs a little bit of stirring up. I shook it, but that wasn't quite enough. I'm going to put in a stick. And so I'm just taking a little bit and I'm just, see, this is where it's sloppy. I don't have a straight line there. I'm going over onto that part, but that part won't show. Just where I'm covering up this blue will show. And because it's a dark color, I might have to go over it a couple of times to get it to cover. So how many of you have books at home that you could already do this with? That you don't have to go purchase books. I actually was very good and I got rid of all of my books, gave them away before we moved up here. Not all of them, but all of the ones I knew I wasn't going to read again. All of the ones I could have used for crafting supplies. Okay, so I'm going to, before I close this, I'm just going to zap this with some heat, dry it up. Okay, and I'm using that's actually my embossing gun. It gets really hot because I just want it to dry fast. So I'm going to go back over this with a second coat because some of that blue is showing through. Okay. Yeah, I see. I have learned, Alana, that whenever he starts telling a story, automatically put yourself on guard or ask him, is this true or is this one of your jokes? Yes, you can get these books at the dollar store. Absolutely. Thrift store. Sometimes thrift store is a little more expensive than the dollar store. Sometimes it's cheaper. Garage sales. I will tell you though, we might have a little problem. Is I was looking on the spines, and on this book, it's kind of got a not embossed because it's not up, but it's kind of, I guess, engraved. I don't know, but it's a textured title of the book on there. So that might give us a little bit of trouble when we're chalking, but we're gonna cross our fingers that it's all good. This one has a lot less of that, so it might cover up a lot better. Okay, now I'm gonna do this flap. Same thing. I'm not worried about how neat I am chalking this line because the book is going to be shut and you're not going to see where I painted sloppily. If there's any chance you'd see it, I would tell you do a nice job, but this will not be seen. Okay, I'm going to hit it with the dryer so I can quickly put on a second coat. I like your folding shirts. Thank you. I've known him since, not Hindi. I've known him since he was 5 years old. Yes, you have. You probably babysat him a time or two. That's all right. For the most part, I can read autocorrect. Hopefully, Alana, he wasn't starting the dad jokes when he was 5, but I'm sure he was A lot of fun to be around. Little tag-along brother. Okay. So, did everybody say, do you have books? Do you have books you could do this with? Because I'm giving you an assignment. You did. You gave him a few piano lessons. Yes, he does remember that. You can take complete credit for all his musical abilities. Okay, so now that I shut that, you can only see where I neatly painted. You can't see all the sloppy part. Now I also need to get down here, and with that I've got a smaller brush, and I'm just kind of tapping that in there. So I'm covering up all of that blue, because that blue will be kind of obvious if I don't. Okay, so I've got that inside right there painted. Now I'm gonna zap it. Okay, and I'm gonna paint. Doesn't matter if I paint front or back. I'm just going to start putting some paint on, and I can tell I'm gonna have to do 2 coats because this dark blue is really strong. So basically I'm just putting a primer coat over it with my green. Again, this is celery green. And making sure I get those edges covered. No blue. Yeah, he has always kind of been the entertainer. He stepped out. I think he went to go. We are in the middle of some chicken drama. We are trying. We have 2 sets of chickens. We have our old ones who've been around here for 2 or 3 years. They all get along fine. But we introduced some new babies, and they are about 3 months old. And up until now, they have been in a separate coop outside, and they've been free ranging, so they kind of intermingle with the older girls, but not in close quarters and not overnight. Well, we don't always want to have 2 coops. So we are trying to consolidate them, and it has not been pretty. Our old girls are very mean. They're very mean to our babies. So he is out having to try to broker some peace, or I'm not sure what he's doing. He's trying to get them all to bed. Okay, I'm sure you have some books somewhere you could use. You know, even if you don't paint them and put the words on them, you could do this with just maybe some antique looking books, or just any books. You don't have to paint them up and cover them up. You can just use them as is. I'm going to let that dry a bit, and I'm going to paint this side. Get it started because it's going to need 2 coats. And here you are again watching paint dry. But not paint on 3 books, so you'll thank me for that. Bill will thank me for that. I like using chalk paint. Some of you, if you have watched me before, you've probably heard me say this. I like using chalk paint for my base. It adheres really well. It's kind of a dry, dry paint. It's on a little bit on the thicker side. It adheres really well, and for the most part, it covers really well. I think if I was having to paint this with acrylic paint, I would be doing 4 or 5 coats, but I'm sure I can get it with 2. With these, I actually got them in 1 with these other colors. Okay, so let's dry this one up. Okay, like I said, this is my normal dryer. This is my quick dry tool. This doesn't get super hot. It's meant for just gently drying. This one gets super hot because it's meant to emboss. It's meant to really heat up. So it does dry this faster. I don't use this anywhere near my transfers. That would melt my transfers in a second. But when I want to dry this paint pretty quickly, using this really helps. Okay, so let's continue to let that dry. Let's give this a second coat. Stir this. Okay, so some of you have books to use. Some of you know where to get them. Tell me, are you readers? Do you like to read just for pleasure? I know Alana's answer. I know Alana's answer is yes. So tell me, do you like to read for pleasure? And if so, what kinds of books? What kinds of books do you like? Or what genre? Or what's your favorite author? Or tell me a little bit about that. I used to love to read. I've kind of gotten out of the habit. But I like historical fiction. I really like. So they're fiction stories. They're made up stories, but they are based on historical truth. Like there's a series that I read, a Gilbert Morris series, and he took you through American history and made up a storyline, but it was still pretty much historically accurate with some embellishment on it. So that's kind of what I like. I kind of like mysteries. I do not like horror. Everybody likes a good bodice ripper. So tell me about your reading habits. Okay, this does not have to be a super good paint job, especially this one. This one's going to be in the middle of the stack, so you're really not going to see it much. Maybe that corners, definitely the spine. I kind of toasted that paint, but that's okay because it's going to get sandwiched in between. No, I don't. It puts me to, oh, you like audio. I've listened to some audiobooks. Bill loves them. I have a hard time with audiobooks because I guess I like to stop and reread. I don't know if maybe it's because I heard something and I want it to sink in, or maybe because I wasn't truly paying attention and then I caught myself, oh, what was that? I missed that. And that's harder to do when it's audio. But I did get into Kindle books. So not the audio version of them, but the electronic version. And that was okay. It took me a while to get used to turning pages. And then when I did read a real paper book, I would be tapping it to turn the page, and that didn't work. So Sometimes I like to read online, and sometimes I like to have. I just read a book, and I liked it so much. I felt I needed to get it in my hands, so I ordered the hard copy. Yes, you read fiction, mystery, or drama. Grisham, ooh, you like the suspense, historical fiction, political commentary, and business books. Okay, I've got some business books. To me, they're kind of like textbooks, and I have to really be motivated to pay attention. Okay, so Bill says he is sitting with the chickens. The old girls don't know where to go tonight. He is actually trying to put them in the little girls' coop because he wants the big girls to get comfortable in the big coop. It's a whole long drama. I ought to write a book on chickens. But apparently our old girls are confused and they don't know where they're supposed to sleep tonight. I can relate. The confusion. Well, we miss you. Hopefully you're listening. I'll stop talking about you now. Okay, and now let's do this spine. This is going to be the most visible, is this spine. So we do want to kind of do a good job on this. And again, it's got that embossed, it's not embossed because it's indented, but you know what I mean. It's got that the embossed title of the book, but it's a little less prominent as the other books. Sleep anywhere, anywhere. You must have hit a jackpot bonus word. Okay, so that's my little hint to you. When you go to buy books at the Dollar Tree or the thrift store, check the spine, and the flatter it is, the better. You can paint over it, but you can't always cover up the texture. I could probably get some spackle or something, but I'm not gonna go to that extent. I don't think anybody's gonna be coming up and inspecting these up close. And if they do, they can see what's written under there. Okay, I think that's covered. So, okay, let me clean this off, put it in water, clean this off, put this in the trash, and put my lid back on, and clean up my hands. Okay, and I'm going to finish drying this. Okay, Bill, oh, there you are. You'll have to tell everybody what kind of books you like to read.
Oh, yeah. What kind of books do I like to read?
Well, I could answer for you, but I don't know if it's still the same. You don't read paper books anymore.
Well, I haven't since my eyes have the problem.
So I can't tell what you're reading.
I am still listening to books.
He listens to books on tape.
I had my
retina, detached retina.
And since I had a detached retina, I've had problems focusing up close because after detached retina and all that kind of stuff, they end up giving you cataracts, and so I had cataract surgery. So it's put a kibosh on me reading for a while. But I have run into a couple of books. There is one lately, and I heard you saying something about doing a Gilbert Morris, where he reads, I mean, he does a historical thing. Well, I see that a lot in Zane Grey. I've read just about all of Zane Grey's books, 1920s author, and he would write fiction into historical books. But there's a new one that I read and I'm trying or listened to, and I can't think of the name of it. It's really good. Hold on, I'll find it.
Okay. While he's holding on, I'm going to wax this. This is Chalk Teak Dark Wax. I got this on Amazon. I don't sell this, but I've also seen it in craft stores. It is just paste wax, but it's tinted dark. So it kind of, people use it for furniture refinishing to kind of make it look antique. So I'm just going to slather that on, and you're thinking, oh no, she's ruined it. No, it kind of, I blend it in and wipe it off, and it just kind of gives it an aged look. It doesn't look like it was freshly painted. Okay, did you think of it?
No, I'm looking for the audiobooks that I had in the past, but I really enjoyed
So I'm kind of going thick, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to buff it off because I don't want too much wax. And I'm not chalking everywhere. Generally I chalk over paint because I'm going to put a transfer down on it, and I don't want the transfer to pick up the paint. But I want to, a couple of things. I wanted to make it look antique. And I also wanted to protect the chalk paint. Chalk paint dries very matte and very chalky. And sometimes it kind of scratches up easily, and sometimes it absorbs oil. And so I'm just giving it this little layer of protection with the wax. It won't feel waxy, it will soak in. Okay, so I've got that on, and I still have kind of a thick layer, so I'm going to find a clean section. And I'm going to buff any excess wax off. And that will even kind of lighten it up a bit.
I'm trying to log into the Amazon again. And
The Amazon?
Your Amazon.
The Amazon?
Where we have the
The
Prime Audible.
Oh,
Because I get my free books there.
can't you just log into Audible?
No, it goes through.
Oh, because that's what I do. I have the Audible app. Okay.
But I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Anyway.
Okay, so I've got this one done. So here are our 3 books. Let me see. It doesn't really matter if they're upside down or backwards, unless it matters to you. So here's what my book stack is going to look like. I've got the lightest, the medium, and the dark. And what I'm going to do, again, I've already waxed these. So we're going to get out our transfer. And I liked these words with books because I used to be an elementary teacher, so I taught reading. I taught kids how to read. And I was saddened a lot of times, especially later in my career, right before I retired, I taught remedial reading. So I was teaching kids who had reading difficulties. And I was saddened because I grew up in a library. My mother was a librarian, and she never had a babysitter. I just went to work with her, and I was in the back reading. And I would get lost in books, if you know what that means. I would get in a story, and it would just take me there. I'm going to separate this, so I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife, and I'm not going to cut through the backer sheet. I'm just cutting through the little threads on that screen. So I grew up loving books, loving reading, and then the kids that I was teaching reading, they never got lost. They never got lost in a book. They could not understand that concept of letting a book take them away. And that always saddened me, because I thought, I wish I could help them be a better reader so that could happen for them. And I did see it happen for a few. I had a hard time pronouncing words, so I will read on and then I know what it is. So that's why I like audio. Oh. Who cares what it's pronounced like if you're not reading it out loud? Make up your own pronunciations. So anyway, my sisters love to read. Okay, so I'm fuzzing this. I don't want this to I don't want it to pull up the paint. And I'm going to start with the Explore. And I'm not going to do the period. So I'm going to hold this up and make sure it is as centered as I can get it. A little bit higher. And all of them are going to be flush right. So not right up to the edge of the book, but as they are, they're kind of centered. I don't want them centered on my book stack. I want them all to the right of the book. Okay, so I'm pushing this down really well, especially because of where that title is underneath. It's kind of got some dents in the surface. I want this to attach so I don't have any bleeding. And I want to remember to not do that period. So I'm going to tape it over. So anyway, these words, explore, dream, discover, are very meaningful to me because that's what you do with books. You explore new places, new characters, you dream, you discover. So I thought this was perfect for this project. So we're going to use black paste. This is chalk paste. We're just going to use black velvet. And I'm going to put a little bit on my squeegee, and I'm going to just gently squeegee that on. And this transfer, the letters are meant to be a little choppy and rustic looking. So even if we have some missing pieces, it's not going to really show. So here we go. Cross your fingers. Explore. Isn't that cool? Okay. Now our next one, this one's just slightly thinner. But you know what? I need to make sure it's the right distance. Ooh, that is very close. I maybe should have gotten a thicker book. Okay, that is about 3/4 of an inch. So I want that to be about.
I think even if it goes off the edge, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll kind of wrap. So I'm wondering if the letters in the word dream are a little bit taller. Okay. Anyway, I'm just kind of wrapping it down the edges. And again, I don't want to chalk that period. So I'm going to cover it up with my placement tape, pushing this down, especially around that edge. And same thing, a little bit of paste, not enough. Chalk over that edge. Okay, put that aside. Okay, let's see. Dream. Ooh, looks good. And I pretty much got that 3/4 of an inch. Yeah. Okay. Don't mind all my splotchy arms. I do not have leprosy. I have chickens. I have a chicken. I have a special needs chicken, and I'm trying to spend extra time with her and keep her tame, because if she's truly special needs like we think, she may need extra care, and I don't want to have to, I want her to be calm and tame for us, so I spend a little extra time holding her and petting on her, and she has sharp claws, and so she claws at me. She's mean too. She gets scared. Totally understand what you're talking about. If I could give parents one piece of advice, I would tell them to read to your kids. Yes, as early and as much as possible. It will open up so many amazing worlds to them. Agreed. In fact, the young lady, I am so impressed with the young lady that we know that works at your place of employment, if you know who I'm talking about. She has young preschool kids, and she's always posting on Facebook. I guess they're going through the public library summer reading program, and her little, I don't know if she's 2 or 3, has gotten her sticker for reading 200 books. Well, you know that little girl didn't read 200 books. You know Mama sat down and read 200 books to her. And I just think that is awesome. I just give those parents all the kudos. You'll never regret reading to your kids. And I know these days people are busy, and there's single moms who are working multiple jobs, and it's hard, but like I said, I don't think you'll ever regret reading to your kids. Okay, let's take this off. Discover. I love it. I love it. And that one's over a little too far. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, explore, dream, discover. Let's give these a quick dry. And then I'm going to clean up the transfer, and then we're going to decorate this up. Oh, you know what? I was going to do this differently. I was going to do dream on top. I wanted it to be the shortest word to the longest word. I wonder if that would mess up the colors too much. If that would mess up my ombre.
Not if it's opaque enough, but you might have to do 2 or 3 layers. But
No, I meant. Does that look okay with the colors?
I like it okay.
Okay.
I like contrast, so I'm a
Yeah, because I was thinking lightest to darkest, but I wanted dream, explore, discover. That's all right. We'll do it this way. Are you thinking of doing the same thing? Yes, you need to. Okay, I'm going to let those continue to dry. I'm going to clean this transfer. I imagine you're all thinking, why does she clean that transfer? She does it every time. We know how to do it. Well, maybe somebody's watching. Maybe somebody's watching the replay. Oh, and by the way, hi, Patty. Maybe somebody's watching the replay that has never done this before. So I want to make sure they realize how to do this. So these transfers are meant to be reusable, guaranteed 10 to 12 times that you can reuse them. And I know you can get more uses out of them if you take really good care of them. So I'm starting with either a paper towel, or this is a Swedish dishcloth, which is kind of like a paper towel, but it's reusable. So I can rinse it out, wring it out, put it in the washing machine, use it over and over again. But that is getting my top layer of paste off. That you can see there's still paste on there, but look how much I got off. If it was a paper towel, I'd toss it away. But now I'm going to switch over. I'm going to spray again with just water, and I'm going to get my board eraser, which is like a magic eraser, but no chemicals. And this is going to pull off the rest of that paste. Now, what's not coming off is stain. The black is highly pigmented, which makes for bright, vibrant colors, which you want, but it also stains the transfer, which is fine. As long as you can get it out of the screen it doesn't matter if you have staining on your transfer. It will work just as well. So I'm going to flip it over, spray it again because the paste likes to hang out on the back side. Again, oops. Take my board eraser and clean off any paste. And I can see I actually pulled up a little bit of paint. Remember, I put wax on it. I pulled up a little bit of paint, so I'm just making sure I get that off. And making sure the screen is clear so you can see through that screen. Oop. See through the screen. And I'm going to just let this air dry. If you were in a hurry, you could dry it off with a paper towel, but I prefer to let them air dry if I have the time. And then I'm going to put it back on its backer sheet and store it away in its little plastic container. Okay, so let's get to decorating this. I don't want it to be over the top because I don't really decorate over the top. So let's see how we want to do this. I've got some ribbon. So I could wrap this in this ribbon, or I've got some jute. I could wrap it with jute and put a bow on the top.
How about both?
Well,
put the
or
ribbon down and then put the jute over it.
Or I've got
Is that rickrack?
no. This is lace. So I could do this. I don't know. We'll see. Let's try a couple of things. Okay, so I could do this. That looks kind of sparkly gold. It's not. It is like burlap, natural burlap. So I could do that. I could do the burlap with some lace.
That's nice too.
I could just do lace, or I could wrap it several times with jute, several layers, and then we could use some of this on the top. So tell me what you think.
What's your votes, people?
What? Tell me what you're thinking. I have, we'll just call this burlap. I have burlap. I have burlap and lace. I have just lace. And I have jute that I would do multiple layers of. This would just be for wrapping, like tying the books together. And then we'll put something on top too. So tell me what you're thinking so I don't have to decide. Honestly, I kind of just like that. Okay, I've got about 5 people on here, so I should. Okay, Alana likes the lace by itself. Okay. Patty likes the burlap. Patty D likes the burlap. Burlap by itself. Any other thoughts? Burlap, burlap, burlap. Okay, I think I have another Patty. What's the other Patty's opinion? Or burlap, and I also have a thinner lace, but it looks like it's got it's one-sided. Okay. Okay, so we have 1 vote for lace by itself, 1 vote for burlap. Patty B can be the tiebreaker. Or if I have to decide, I'm going to put both the burlap and the lace.
That would be my vote. And I'm one of
Okay.
those 5. So
Okay.
I get a vote.
Okay.
I get to vote.
Okay. Then let's do burlap.
I just live here. What do I know?
Let's do burlap and lace.
That's right. Burlap and lace.
I'm going to.
Miss V said she likes the burlap.
Okay. Okay. Well,
You know
since
what?
it's
Put the
burlap
burlap
and
on.
lace, let's start with burlap.
See what it looks like.
And I'm not opposed to doing burlap and lace. It was my idea in the first place, anyway. So.
Wow.
I mean.
That's a fine how do you do. That's a fine how do you do.
Okay, now I don't want this too bulky under here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this down. Ooh, hot, hot, hot.
Careful, that's hot.
Let me get my.
I just want to be helpful.
This is my little makeup applicator, but I'm using it as a hot glue.
Hot glue applicator.
Okay, I already see a problem. I need to go up more. Yes. Hot glue finger burner preventer.
That's an interesting group.
Self-explanatory though. Okay.
I'll trust you.
You're gonna have to. Okay, and I'm gonna kind of turn that over so it's a little finished.
Okay, Alana has conceded saying that would be pretty too, the burlap and the lace.
Okay.
She's just trying to be a peacemaker.
That's not a bad thing.
I never said it.
Okay, and put it down with that. And I've got a little wire I'm gonna snip. Okay, so here's the burlap. And then the lace. Now the burlap, I know I got this at, where did I get this? Did I get this at Dollar Tree? Floral Garden. This I got from Dollar Tree. This I got from Dollar Tree. This I believe I got from Joann's. I think Celebrate It is a Joann's.
Even if you had a bow on top, I'd still put the lace on it.
I like this cottony lace. This is 100% cotton, and it is 1 inch wide. And this is 2 inches wide. Okay.
1 inches wide.
1 inches wide. Okay. And
We are teachers. We speak
goodly.
goodly
We
English.
speak goodly.
English. We speak goodly English.
No blisters.
I don't know if those little girls have gone in yet, but I put the little mealworms up the steps. I got one of them to follow it in for it.
Then she probably hopped back out.
They didn't stick.
We might just have to wait till it's completely dark
That's
and
what I was
catch them.
waiting until later. And
Did you know that chickens cannot see in the dark?
well, they don't see well.
They don't see well in the dark. Because whatever, you know... Okay, so here's, so far.
Let me go to the front.
Okay, so we're going to put a little something up here.
A little something.
Okay. Anyway, you know when you see animals on the side of the road and their eyes are that red reflection? whatever that is in their eye, chickens don't have it. So they have a very difficult time seeing in the dark.
A lot of birds.
A lot of bird, I guess. But anyway, thank you. Look at all those hearts.
Okay, so now just so you know,
Mm-hmm.
what are you laughing at, Alana? I missed that completely.
I don't know.
Did you know that when you look at an animal, sometimes it reflects back red and sometimes it reflects back sort of a bluish green? It
Yeah.
does, it's true. I've seen them in photographs. I have been told, and I have not verified it, but I have been told that predators typically are red and those that are not predators are normally the bluish green.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true or not, but
Okay.
that's what I've read. Isn't that exciting?
Trying to think of what kind of bow I want to do. Should have thought this out earlier.
You what?
I'm trying to think of what kind of bow I want to do here.
Okay. Gotta have a discussion here.
Do I want to do a couple loopy bows. Let's see.
Patty,
Do I want to do, you know what, I'm just gonna do a messy bow, and I think I'm gonna add some greenery, and I think I'm going to add, I have these little burlap roses. So that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna do a messy bow.
All right, messy bow. I'm good
Messy
with
bow
messy.
it is.
I'm really good at
Okay.
messy stuff.
Let me get my scissors out. So I'm going to do a couple of strips. Two, 3, 4 strips of that. I'm going to do, what did I do with that? Where did I put it? Okay, I lost my, that's not what I wanted. What did I do with it? Did I drop the ribbon?
Yes, ma'am.
The lace
Let me see if
ribbon?
I can
Okay.
get that for you here.
Okay, and I've got some green, kind of a sagey green that kind of goes.
Gotta put my bullets down.
3, and then I'm gonna use.
You're just dropping everything
I
tonight.
am. I'm just a hot mess.
Well,
Okay,
I wasn't gonna say anything.
and I'm gonna do.
I said hello.
3 of these, and we're going to crisscross them. Let me move this out of the way for now. Okay, so we're going to crisscross, 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 crisscross. Okay, and I'm also going to get, I just had it. I'm going to get
By the
some
way, Alana said she was laughing at us talking about speaking
goodly, speaking goodly.
Yeah. Very goodly.
Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to pinch it. Pinch it. And I'm going to tie this up. Now I could do this with a zip tie, I could do it with a pipe cleaner, I could do it with twine or string or more ribbon.
You could do it in a box, you could do it with a fox. Hey, you're the one that married me.
Okay, I'm
You're
gonna trim
talking
that
books.
off. Okay, And
Socks
then
with
so
socks.
now
Socks with socks.
I've got this all floppity everywhere. And I'm going to
I thought you were going to use the woogity word
woogity.
again.
It's floppity. It's not woogity.
It's floppity?
Floppity. Okay, I'm going to trim some of these down.
Alana, do you know what the word woogity means? You ever use that word? Woogity? We were talking about it a couple nights ago. Again, we speak very goodly English. Give me a definition of woogity.
Wonky.
Wonky? I think wonky is a little different than woogity.
Wonky and crooked. Okay, and let's do some dovetails on these. Okay, so we still have a couple of people out there.
And we're not even watching paint dry.
We're not even watching paint dry. Now we're doing embellishments. So let's see. And I'm going to, the wired ribbon kind of helps. The wired ribbon kind of helps with.
Okay, so Alana says I have not, but it sounds like something that would be loved a lot, like a velveteen rabbit with woogity.
Woogity? Okay, so let's see. I'm thinking.
Put the two of them together.
No, I'm not going to put both.
No, do the burlap.
I was going to say, I think, well, they're both burlap.
No,
You want the natural. The natural. Do we agree? Natural bow. And let's see.
A little bit of
green.
Sage.
This is lamb's ear. I'm going to pull off just a couple of sprigs here and there and everywhere.
Here, there, everywhere.
Okay, maybe like that. Okay. But another sprig. Another sprig in the front. A frontal sprig.
Full frontal sprig?
Full frontal sprig.
Okay.
Okay.
That doesn't sound
Okay.
good.
What do we think? Before I assemble.
You know what? Turn it around and let's go to the front. See a front view here. Oh, there you go, baby. That looks pretty good.
Okay, so let's disassemble. And I'm going to start by gluing this down. Now, it definitely has a front, so I'm going to kind of try to get it to go upward. I'm going to put a glob of glue right there. Glob of glue. Thank you, Alana. And once I get that attached, I can go in and I can rearrange my ribbons. Okay, let's put down this one. Thank you. Okay, so let's stick that there. That there.
Again with the goodly English.
Put that and there. Kind of hanging off the edge. And then
Now you got that song in my head.
Sorry. So sorry. Sorry. Sorry, Chotty. Okay, let's put this.
Now, I have read, I don't know if it's true or not, but from what I understand, when you get a song stuck in your head, if you sing it to the end, where it ends,
You get it out of your head?
Your brain tends to shut it off after that. I don't know if it's true or not. I haven't been
I
able to
don't-
do it yet. But
Okay, so let's see, that's gonna
I'm
go
just
there.
full of all kinds of knowledge tonight.
You are full of it, honey. I have always said that about you.
Yep, you have.
Okay, let's stick that right there. Almost done. Almost done. Honestly, I pre-painted things and we still went over an hour. Well, thank you so much for hanging on.
And here I am.
And here you am. Okay. And now I got if you're interested, I got these burlap bows off of Amazon. I got a big old bag of them. I think there's probably a pack of 18 burlap roses.
What do you mean tonight? Alana popped up and said we're funny tonight. I don't know what she means by tonight.
We're funny every night. And I'm just going to tack these down just a bit. Because they're wanting to float. Okay. Well, there we have it. Minus hot glue strings. There is our book stack. And I also thought, I don't know, I stole a pair of Bill's old glasses.
What?
And I kind of thought maybe they could kind of just kind of set
Santa
them
glasses.
on there. Yeah, the
old Santa
old-fashioned-y
glasses
ones.
need to go on there.
Okay, well,
Since they
anyway.
don't do Santa anymore.
I don't know. That might be too much. Anyway, that is our project for tonight. I don't think I said, if you are interested in getting these transfers, type in Kickstart because they are our Creative Kickstart transfers. And again, you get the words Explore, Dream, Discover with the dictionary definitions. That is one of them. And then the other one we are going to be working with very soon, as soon as I get some items in the mail. These are the etched bugs. So you have a butterfly. Somebody said that's a moth, but I think that's a butterfly because moths have hairy antennae. And a bumblebee and a dragonfly and a beetle. So we're going to do a little something with that. So type in Kickstart if you're interested in checking out those transfers and how you can get them for free. And in the meantime, I'm going to go find a place to put this. And I'm going to pose with it. I'm going to clean off my table a little
Question
bit.
for those that are watching on YouTube. Can they comment on YouTube and get the same thing?
Well, it won't come to you automatically. If you comment on YouTube, my bot doesn't work on YouTube, but when I see the comment, and I check every once in a while, but maybe not every day, but I will send you the link personally if you comment on YouTube, but it will not automatically send to you. In fact, you could probably put in the description, you could probably put the cart link in there directly. Okay, so here is our book stack. And I'm posing. Do you have the big rain cross?
You're fine, baby. Just smile and look pretty.
Okay, so that's our project. Thanks for, I'm glad we can make you laugh. I'm glad you love it, Alana. Some special meaning. Well, I want to see you make one, and I want to see it. Catch you tomorrow, Patty. I'll be watching for you too, and we will see you. I don't know. I'm not sure if we're going live tomorrow or not, but we'll see you when we see you. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching, and bye-bye.